people who have trouble seeing, this seems like a long time coming, but researchers say they may be closer to finding a cure for blindness.
That's right. Dr. Sanford G. Feldman joins us this evening to tell us about some remarkable discoveries. We understand it involves a chemical that's now being used in experiments with mice. So how does it work?
Well, it's a pretty exciting development. It was announced by the researchers just on this past Sunday. It's a group from University of California, Berkeley, working together with scientists at University of Washington and also the University of Munich. And they took a chemical called AAQ, which is based on an ammonium molecule, and they injected it into the eyes of mice that were congenitally blind. That means they had no sight from birth. And that was because of a genetic mutation. In that kind of condition, it's a layer of cells in the back of the eye called the retina. It's the layer called photoreceptors. Some people have heard the word rods and cones. These are the nerve receptors that send vision signals from the eye to the brain and are stimulated by light. Well, in many conditions associated with blindness, those rods and cones degenerate. And when the scientists injected this chemical inside the eye, it actually lowered the threshold that was needed for these rods and cones to be stimulated and made them start working again. So mice that couldn't see suddenly could see. Now, it only lasted about 24 hours. And so now the trick is going to be to try to work the molecule to make it last longer with either changes in dose or changes in the way that the molecule is delivered, in the hopes that someday people who have rod and cone degeneration in human conditions, such as macular degeneration, a huge cause of blindness in this country, retinitis pigmentosa, and many others, might actually have some hope for reversing blindness.
Okay, so you've done this in the laboratory with mice. The next step would be what? Starting clinical trials to experiment on people? And realistically, how you say someday, but we're talking a matter of a decade, maybe 3 years?
Well, when people have been calling me about this, I like to say about the only individuals who could get excited about this right now are the proverbial 3 blind mice. Yes. Because there's a lot of testing that still needs to be done. It really has to be worked through the animal models, and then eventually it will be hopefully tested for effectiveness and also for safety in humans. I don't think we're talking 1 or 2, maybe not even 3 years, but I would think, 5, 10 years, and certainly in our lifetime, reversing blindness could be a reality for a lot of people who otherwise just didn't have any hope.
Now, with the injection in mice, does the chemical eventually wear off? Are we talking repeated injections here?
Well, right now the chemical does wear off, and the effect in mice only lasted about 24 hours. And so the question is, are there better ways to deliver the chemical, or are there higher doses that we can use? So that's going to take a lot of research and a lot more understanding. But one of the benefits of a chemical, as opposed to some of the other treatments under investigation for treating blindness, such as stem cell transplants or gene therapy, is that once the drug is gone, or once the chemical is gone, it's gone. So if it wasn't working, then there's no lingering effects. You can use it in combination with other treatments. You can increase the dose or decrease the dose. So there's potentially a lot of value to this kind of treatment.
I can sense your excitement. This could be such a wonderful thing. Give us an idea about blindness and how many people in this country are affected by it.
Well, there are many, many causes of blindness, estimated to be about 40 million people affected by blindness. But one of the ones that is most important, I think, to people over the age of 65 is macular degeneration. It affects 9 million people in this country alone, 30 million people worldwide, and 3 million of that 9 million here in this country are said to be severely affected, which means they're legally blind. They look straight ahead. They can't see their families' faces and recognize detail on TV. They can't read. They can't drive. And these people really desperately are looking for some way, not just to slow down the condition, which is what we've been able to do so far, but maybe someday to actually reverse the damage caused. This is a glimmer of hope for them.
We've got just a few seconds. What about side effects with this chemical that's being experimented with in the lab?
Still to be worked out. It's strictly an experimental situation. It's a breakthrough that offers a lot of excitement, but it's going to take a lot of time.
Okay. Very good. Dr. Feldman, thank you so much for joining us. And you're with Scripps.
Scripps Memorial Hospital, yes.